Hey, it's Matty here, and a massive apology to everybody who has been following along with the garage conversion updates. I've been converting the garage for the last month or so, and I'm happy to say that everything has been going really smoothly. But unfortunately, life has a bit of a funny way of getting in the way of making content and creating videos, which hopefully by the end of all these build videos, you'll have a better idea as to why I had to stop making them. Here we are with the latest update. I can show you some of the extra steps that I've taken alongside my handy accomplice, my father, to get things moving. In this update, you'll see that we've created lots of timber frames going all the way along each of the walls, which are connected to the floor and to the ceiling, so that the single skin wall isn't loaded up with too much weight. All of these bits of timber need to be cut down to size, and I was very fortunate to be able to use a miter saw, which I borrowed from a friend. You're more than welcome to tell me that is easy enough to do with a hand saw, but I didn't really want to do that. It's much easier with a miter saw that's electric and does it all for you. Here you can see an example of where the wall is slightly cracked. We filled it in because the bricks are separated over time, which means that we can see daylight through it. We can see into next door's garage. But big cracks aside, now that all the walls were surrounded with a frame, it started to look a bit more like a room, and it was time to get them all secured. This bit of stud frame here that's covering up the bit where there was a crack in the wall, this is secured by the two pillars that are either side. We did find that just one of the pillars is cemented on, as for some reason the beams in this garage go from the front to the back rather than from left to right, which is the same as every other garage across the estate. So for some reason the builders decided to do something a little bit different with mine, which was very confusing to say the least, but that's a choice that they made, so we're just going to have to live with it. And of course, like in any building projects, you finally find that you don't have enough materials, so you have to run down to the local DIY store. And here you can see the immense amount of different insulation boards and sizings, depending on how thick you want the insulation to be, how thick you want the walls to be, and so on. I realised it was going to end up saving me a lot of money if I was able to order some bigger items in bulk. And then of course it means that my car isn't turned into some sort of rocket launcher. Now Wickes do a home delivery service, which is especially good if you're ordering massive bits of plasterboard, and of course have a very kind neighbour who allows you to dump all the items onto their driveway so you can keep it covered up. If you're doing a project like this and opt for some sort of home delivery, I thoroughly recommend ordering as many materials as you can in bulk, especially if you've got somewhere to store it. It wouldn't be very fun if I had to store all this stuff in the garage and have to keep on getting it out every single day. So now that I've got everything, I need to continue insulating the rest of the room and even start putting plasterboard on top of all of this as well. These are going to be some of the next steps, which I'll go through in the next few videos. And I'll hand over the reins to my dad, who's doing some electrical work to ensure that there's some lighting and enough sockets inside. There's a consumer unit out here already, which we may have to upgrade in the future, but we'll take those steps as we come to it. A massive thanks for stopping by and watching the video. Promise not to leave it as long until the next update.